Hello everybody and welcome in today's video. In today's video we are going to talk about why this is probably the last bull market that we are going to see in a very long time. We are also going to talk about what are the advantages of a doom thinker and what are the advantages of a optimist, but also what are the cons, what are the disadvantages. That is something that we are going to talk about in today's video. So guys, grab a coffee, drop a thumbs up, and yeah, let's just jump straight into it. First of all, guys, I want to start with the topic last bull market. This is, of course, a big word. This is the last bull market. I personally really think that the bull market that we are seeing right now in crypto will be will be the last bull market that we are going to see for quite a while. I think that the bear market that follows this bull market will be longer and more extended than previous bear markets. And the main reason why I have that view is because the dot-com bubble, which was the adoption of the internet, did exactly the same thing. We had which is known as a secular bull market, which is a longer uptrend. So we have these shorter uptrends where Bitcoin is in a 4-year cycle where it goes 3 years up, 1 year down, 3 years up, 1 year down. But if you really zoom out on Bitcoin, you can also see, wow, okay, this is a very long-term uptrend. So if you really zoom out, there is no bear market, there's only higher lows. Right? So that means that we're only in an uptrend. And that's exactly what we've seen with the dot-com bubble. It was for a certain amount of time. In total, it took like 16 years. But for 12 years of the 16 years, it was just only going up. If you really zoom out from a macro perspective, it's just the last part of the year, the last part of that 16 years is just where it really comes down. And it really makes sense for crypto also to really get a big reset. And it's a little bit early to talk about it right now, but I already want to prepare you to make a shift in your bias later on during this bull market. And we're going to that topic in a little bit, or the doom thinkers and the optimists. We are going to that subject in a little bit, but first let's stay with why this is the last bull market. I just think, looking at the world right now, looking at the macro environment, right, things are not looking that optimistic. But everything is going up, and that is actually what we often see. When there is a lot of turmoil, things are actually going up because there will be a delayed effect to the markets. And if you think about a correction, or if you think about a recession, just think about it, maybe a recession, something like we haven't really seen before. Like me and you included, most likely, have not really experienced a recession like the Great Depression, right? Something like that we haven't really experienced. We have experienced some recessions like 2008, 2020, which were all like quite shortly lived. And we quite quickly recovered from those recessions in terms of market behavior, right? But what if there comes a recession that really, like a downtrend that really halts in a downtrend? So not just like a 1 year correction and then we just continue to go up, or 1 or 2 years we're going down, but really a correction that lasts multiple years. That is something that most of us have not experienced, because that is just not happened in our lifetime. It happened maybe for our grandfathers or the fathers of our grandfathers. They have seen maybe 1929, where we had the Great Depression, where things really started to get like freaky in the world, and money was really scarce, and it was really difficult to basically get money. And then if you go from that perspective, from a potential Great Depression, maybe even a multi-year long recession, right? And you apply that to the crypto markets or to the regular financial markets, you can really feel like it is completely crazy, right? I mean, we have NFTs right now. We're just starting the bull market, but we have NFTs, which are just images on a screen, which are worth thousands and thousands of US dollars. With some NFTs, you can buy a house. Well, in a recession, the value of a house is way more than a value of an NFT. because there is not so much wealth going around in the society. So that means that there is not much speculation, and values from NFTs and values from altcoins, and also I would say value from Bitcoin. Not completely true, because Bitcoin has a real intrinsic value, especially in this world. But the value for 90% of the crypto space is all coming from speculation. And if we do see a recession, then all that speculation will be gone. And I think a lot of altcoins, a lot of exchanges, a lot of projects in crypto, they will disappear. They will be going. They will go. And yeah, that is just one of the things that is on my mind. This is the last bull market. I also made a video about that already in 2022, where I tell everybody this is your last chance. I think this is really the last chance for millennials like us, to really make some wealth, make some money, and prepare for some heavy storms that are coming in the year 225 to 26. Right? And once I've seen that cycle with the dot-com bubble, I've did some more research, and I've been looking into different cycles. I've been looking into business cycles, and suddenly I found there was a lot of confluence between that 16-year cycle and, for example, business cycles. I wrote an article about that on bitcoinmagazine.com. I'll put that article down below in the description if you want to read that. Make sure to share that over on Twitter. It's a very interesting article. But yeah, that is the reason why I think this is the last bull market. And if I'm wrong, then I'm perfectly fine with that, because if I'm wrong, I still will profit from the bull market, or I will profit from this space. Why is that? Because first of all, we have a very beautiful crypto community right there over on YouTube, right? I have all my money right now in crypto. I'm building cryptocurrency websites for traders so they can trade better, they can get better data, they can make better decisions in the market. So everything that I do in terms of work right now is focused on crypto, right? So if that market will continue to grow, my work and the field that I'm like expanding is also going to grow. Right? If it doesn't happen, if we do see like a top in Bitcoin 2024 or something like that, or maybe even 2025, depending on the cycle that we are in, and we do enter that multi-year long bear market. If I'm going to do the same thing that I did in the previous bull market, which is hold on to my crypto like until the end of the bear market, then definitely we'll be losing a ton load of money. We've already seen it in the previous bear market, and I've seen it the bear market before too, 2018. Basically 2018 bear market, I was just starting in crypto because I entered in 2016. I lost all my money. I went from my whole portfolio, went almost to zero during that bear market, and I had to build again in 2019. Right, and the previous bear market was not too bad for me. Of course, I did lose a big chunk of my portfolio, but still there is enough so that I don't really need to worry that much. Like not like back in 2018 where it went almost back to zero. So if we do see like a multi-year long bear market, that would be very dangerous in terms of not taking profits. And I want to be one step ahead of such an event, and I want to prepare myself in such a way that even though if one event happens, I can still profit from both events. And that's why I think coming to the next topic, the perma bear and the perma bull, I think that is a very dangerous standpoint to have, because if you are a perma bear, there will be a moment that you are right, but there will be a moment that you are wrong. We have seen that, for example, with Il Capo of Crypto, one of the most famous crypto Twitter accounts. He is the perfect example of a perma bear, and he has been right during 2022. Like when Bitcoin topped and he was perma bear, like he was shorting all the way down, at least that's what he was posting about. He was right that whole year. But then came the big problem. Because he was in that state, he just remained a perma bear. He just remained bearish because that is his viewpoint, and he just remained bearish, and he just wanted in his analysis Bitcoin should touch 12k before reaching higher. Well, it went to 15k. And then when Bitcoin went up, he just remained that bear. So Bitcoin went to 20k. He still said, okay, we're going to 12k. Did not happen. Then it went to 25k, and then he said, oh no, we're going from 25k to 12k. Didn't happen. And then it went to 30k, and then from 30k we're going to 12k, and then it didn't went, and then it went to 44k or 40k, and it was also still going back to 12k. So what I'm trying to say is, if you cannot change your bias, at some moment you will be wrong. You can be right a lot of times, but at some moment you will be wrong. And can you afford to be wrong at such an important moment? For me, in that case, it's better than to be a perma bull, because in a bull, Bitcoin generally is in a bull market. And if you are a bull, even though it's a bear market, but you hold on to your hodl position, sooner or later it will catch up and it will get the value back. Right? I think it's more dangerous to be a bear than to be a bull, actually, because Bitcoin is in a longer term uptrend, but that might change in the future. So yeah, that's what I want to say, is that the perspective that you have on the market, being an optimist or being a doom thinker, both are wrong, because both can really get you stuck in a certain perspective, which lead you blinded for the other perspective, which makes it that at some moment in time you are going to be wrong. And that only makes more than sense to me. For me, for example, I have always been that bull, that optimist, that always like, okay, no, Bitcoin is going up, and it helped me always in bear markets, because in bear markets it was very easy for me. Okay, buy Bitcoin at the lows. I just put all of my money in Bitcoin because I'm an optimist. But in a bull market, when Bitcoin is at the top, it is difficult for me to cut the rope and say, okay, right now I'm taking profits because right now we are up so and so much percent. It's just time to take some profits. Right? For me, it was always that optimism was still in me. Like, no, we're going higher, Bitcoin 100k, So I think both sides is not good. If you choose one of them, be a perma bull, not a perma bear. I think a bull is better than a bear, but maybe that change if we are going to see that prolonged bear market. But what I do think is important, that you can already imagine for yourself right now, if a recession would occur, how would the world look and where would money flow? Money would not flow into crypto projects and NFTs and stuff like that. Definitely not. People need to buy bread. People need to pay rent. People need to pay the gas. Money is scarce, right? Housing market maybe comes down. Like, a lot of nasty things can happen in a recession. And the one thing that doesn't happen in a recession is much speculation. But we do see it before a recession. So before a recession occurs, we often see the markets going completely insane. That's also what we, for example, see at the dot-com bubble. In the year 2000, guys, the markets went completely insane. Like, we never been to such high levels in the regular financial markets as in the year 2000. People think right now, no, we surpassed those all-time highs from the year 2000. No, we didn't. Go to the S&P 500, divided by the money supply, and check where the S&P 500 is trading. And we never surpassed that level. So yeah. That is my 5 cents. That is my thoughts a little bit on the market, in the sense of like, well, what can we expect for the next coming years? Well, I think we are going to see a lot of liquidity flowing into Bitcoin. We are seeing a lot of countries that are getting really bullish on Bitcoin, institutions. We are seeing all-time high open interest in CME futures. So there is really a lot of demand for crypto, or at least for Bitcoin right now. But I do think that this will be the last bull cycle before we are going to have a multi-year long bear market. And if you use the argument to me, yeah, but no, because the adoption is growing, the price has to grow. I get that point. I really get that point. But then you forget one thing. The internet did exactly the same thing. In the year 2000, from the year 2000 to 2008, we also have seen an increase in the adoption of internet, but the stocks went down. And the reason why I think the stocks went down, because they were so overheated from that secular bull market. So it's basically just a little bit like what we're seeing in nature. We are seeing waves, right? And now the wave is coming up. the wave is coming down, and it doesn't really matter in the end whether adoption is growing and so on. It might matter when you really zoom out and you look at 10, 20, 30 year time frames. Yeah, if adoption grows, the market grows, money will flow, and eventually we will be in an uptrend. But an uptrend also has downtrends, and the downtrends, nothing goes up in a straight line, and the downtrend can last multiple years. And then there's the question, how are you going to move the markets in those multiple years? What are you going to do if finding a job is going to be difficult, if money is going to be scarce, if speculation is less there? What are you going to do? Yeah, guys, this is just my 5 cents. I'm aware of the fact that I can be completely wrong on this. Like, maybe in 1 year I look like the biggest idiot out there, but yeah, nevertheless, I just like to share. I like to talk about crypto. I like to share my thoughts. We have been right in the past. We have been wrong in the past. It's just nice to be active in the markets, and I can be completely wrong on this, but my basic thesis is what I am expecting on the markets is that this is the last bull market, followed by a multi-year long bear market with very rough times in the world in general, with a big recession. But it's not going to happen right now. Because before every recession, we see markets really going up, overheating. We really want to see an environment again where everyone turns bullish, where everyone talks about crypto, where you get messages from your friend, yo, should I buy Dogecoin? This type of environment that we normally see around the peak of a bull market, that is something that we want to see. So if you get a call from your friend, which is a normie and has nothing to do with crypto, is normally completely not into it, and suddenly calls you, should I buy this and this and that? I think you should better sell and leave the markets. And you might not time the perfect top, so maybe the price jumps another 10k, who knows. But if you take your time with taking profits, so you get out and you just wait patiently, you might see that you were actually right, the markets were overextended, and that we are seeing a bigger correction. Also, do take in mind that you know yourself, right? Do you know yourself in the sense of like, where are you in the markets? What is your perspective? Are you that perma bull? Are you that perma bear? What is your general perspective in the markets? It's good from yourself to know that, because when you know it from yourself, you can recognize your own mistakes. So I made a lot of mistakes in previous bull markets, and I can see myself making similar mistakes this bull market. Only this bull market I can act more quicker and recognize the mistakes because I've already made them in previous markets. So yeah, guys, that was it for this video. I hope it doesn't take too long, but I just thought it's interesting to share a couple of key points. Last bull market followed by a long-term bear market, and I think recession is on the table in the future. Like, it can, I don't want to pinpoint it on time. It can already start in 2024, can start 2025, can start 2026. Like, that's all possible. I just keep it broad out there, but I just want to have that plan already a little bit laid out, right? So whenever I'm seeing things are getting overheated, it's time to take profits and diversify to preserve wealth, because that's also one thing. If you want to make wealth, you go all in into one asset and you put all your eggs basically in one basket. And if it turns out good, great. I did it 2 times. Two times that I went all in on Bitcoin, like literally everything, where my bank account is just basically empty, my car is sold, everything went into crypto, and 2 times it worked out pretty good. I went in 2019 and I went in 2022. Both of these times went all in, and that turned out pretty good. But the next times, if you want to preserve your wealth, you shouldn't go all in on something, because when that basket doesn't perform well, then you have a big problem. So to gain wealth is to take a lot of risks, go all in certain markets. To preserve wealth is to diversify. Once you have the wealth, you diversify in gold, silver, cash. Cash is also important during recessions, guys. Cash is really important during recessions. Cash is king during recessions. Maybe bonds, stocks, whatever, you know. Diversify. When one market goes down, you still have other markets. And for me, I would say the most important thing is that the situation in your life doesn't change, right? If you have to, like for example, in 2018, where I just actually went for my portfolio like almost back to zero, was because I've left all my money in crypto. All my money was in Bitcoin. Bitcoin was going completely down. I had to suddenly pay rent, and I was living. I had to pay rent for the whole year, so I normally pay yearly rent. So I had to do that. I was forced to take out my crypto when it was so low. Well, Bitcoin was trading at back then at between 6 and 3,000 US dollars. So yes, those were really examples where I was like, oh, bear market, I'm forced to sell. So yeah, definitely something to take in mind, huh? Okay guys, don't want to make this video any more longer. If you like this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up. If you want to stay connected with me during these markets and track these cycles, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any important videos. Guys, I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining me here on this beautiful day in this different studio setup. And yeah, wish you all a beautiful day, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.